Alright guys, it's Charlie here. Today we've got, I don't even know how to pronounce that, Regates Valley Field H350-132. These are a Facebook find. And what I liked about them is they're the Dart 007 head, or as my friend Nikki would say, the James Bond head. They only come with 194s, 15s, and a 67 or a 72cc chamber. I've CC'd these, and they're at 63.5. Also, it may not be easy for you guys to see, but the valve job is not stock. So whoever those Regates guys are, I was told they are they did boats. Well, whatever. These are very low hour heads. You can tell. First thing I did is I got my straight edge. I checked them. Then I grabbed my Magnafluxer. I gave them a quick once over, make sure they weren't cracked. You can see there are some burr marks on the chamber. Not really much in the ports. A little bit in the pinches here and there. And yeah, I did a little cleaning up and I started working on two ports. Let's see if we can get that exhaust lit. So what I like about these heads is I did a set of these, like 15 years ago for my little brother, for a little 355 and a box Nova with a 4-speed. We did a comp 286 cam, old school dual plane intake, like a 750 on it and headers, with a nice little small block. I fully ported them, of course, because I can't help myself. And so when I saw these on Facebook, I had to pick them up. Now, what's my game plan? What I wanted to do is I wanted to see what they do stock and what they do with a little port action, which is what I've got on this sheet. Okay, see if I can get this to focus. Okay, first column, intakes not ported, intakes ported. Okay, they flowed 240, which is definitely better than this head is supposed to flow stock. If you took a quick look at that valve job, I'm not 100% sure what they did, but it's got a pretty big throat, and it's got, you can see it's like squared off. The bottom cut is like 90. Not real thrilled with it. But they seem to work pretty darn good stock. 240 for a 165cc port is really not bad. And even the exhaust port, flowed, at 500, 184. Really not bad. So I took a few minutes and hit the intake and exhaust port. I like Dart. Dart has, I don't know what alloy they use for their iron, but it's nice iron to cut. It's actually hard. It's harder iron, and you definitely got to lean into it. I used my big giant DeWalt's on it with the single cuts, and it works out well. But take a look. 254 actually. 254 at 500 is not bad. That would make a killer street head. Remember, these are 194 valves. I can show you the valve. Okay, that's the exact same valve I've been using on the E7s. It is neck down. It does have a back cut on it. I actually made these out of some old 205s I had laying around. I put them on the Sioux 2001 and made 194s out of them. The exhaust is just a old Chevy valve. Absolutely nothing fancy on it. Just has a 45 cut on it. But take a look at the exhaust port with a little cleanup work. Really is not bad. 204 at 600 thousandths. And then if you can see the notation on the right, small pipe 210, big pipe 227 for a relatively small port. Let me grab the flashlight. There we go. See if you can see that. If not, I'm going to move it around for you. Not a huge amount of work. Clean it up, shape it. All right, a little bit different view of it. Nothing fancy. Dart exhausts are a little big and a little square. I kind of round them up a little bit. I may raise it a touch. I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with these yet. Knowing me, I'm going to cut them for a little bit bigger valve and do a little more work to them. I think I can easily get 275. If I can get 275s out of what are those Vortecs? The A&A Midwest EQ Vortex. Did a set of them in David Vizard's shop, and it was nothing fancy. It was a quick go over. Got 275 out of the intake, 200 on the exhaust. Those are nice heads. The regular GM Vortex, I really don't even want to do because they're too crack prone. I personally like this. I'll take this head over a Vortec. The chamber is not quite as wonderful as the Vortec chamber, but hold on. That is damn close to what a Fuley chamber looks like when I modify a Fuley head. The way this is cut out here, I've been doing that since the early 90s. I would machine this down a little bit more like the Grumpy Jenkins DV mod. And for the size port these have great flow numbers. It's designed as a high torque head. They use this in multiple types of racing. A lot of them, you can't do any porting to them at all type of stuff, but I'm not restricted. I can do whatever I want. And these will make somebody very happy in the near future. What is interesting is, let's see if we can get some light, is take a look at how big that short side radius is on those. It's really high. It's nicely laid back. I mean, bone stock, it's nicely laid back. But you can see she stalls. Right around 500 plus, she's done. Right? So we could take some, I took some speeds of the stocker, right? Pinch, roof. You can see how lopsided the roof is. The roof needed some work. And the pinch was already 400. The pinch. The short side radius was already 400 in the center of the cylinder. So that could definitely use a little widening, and a little work on that. But I have a feeling, I'm going to double check the guides. I think I have my son and guide checker. If they're right on the money, I'm going to let them fly. If they're just off a touch, I got to put bronze wall guides in because that's the way I fly. Okay, there's the stock port. It really has decent shape. Very high short side radius. The opening is actually a little bit small. It's not even a 1204, so you definitely need to do a little opening up work on that. And you know what really ticks me off, and I hear this all the time, is, it has to be gasket matched. It has to be gasket matched. God, the stress. It doesn't need to be gasket matched. Actually, if you want to do it right, it needs to be a little bigger on the cylinder head than the gasket. Oh, Charlie, it doesn't sound right. Well, actually, yeah, you put a little bit of an anti-reversion dam there. Okay, that way the Helmholtz pulse is stopped. Okay, it'll go down only and it won't come back as strong. Stopped. I shouldn't say stopped. Stopped is wrong. There's a little bit of a lip there, so it will take some of the amplitude of the Helmholtz pulse off. Okay, anti-reversion, super important. If you would like to come up on cam quicker and build better torque, keep the airflow going in one direction. We want the air going down this intake port. We don't want it pulsing back up when the intake valve closes. Okay, take a quick look at that exhaust port, right side up. Nothing fancy really. Kind of took the slag and junk off of it. Did a little work to that boss. Actually, quite a lot of work to the boss. They got really meaty bosses on these. Okay, I didn't take a ton of material out of the sides. I didn't really start to shape these for a real high-end flow, because I wanted to say, hey, you know what? If you're a bucks down type of guy and you want something that'll make some good horsepower, I'll take these over a set of Vortex any day. It's a dart casting. It's heavy casted. It's 55 pounds each. Guess what? That 55 pounds gives you a nice thick deck. Okay? They use good iron. It's not junk. Okay, the other thing that's nice about these is they're already cut for 156 springs. They're already drilled for studs, guide plates. I'm not sure what CF stands for. Dart used to cast these heads for a lot of other places and so forth. But you know what I really like about these is a lot of guys overlook them. They overlook them. They say, "Oh, it's a 165 port. That won't make any power." No, that's not true. Okay, ask somebody who knows how much horsepower can I make with 254 CFM. You can make a quite a stout 355 or 383 out of something like this without a ton of porting work. Really. Thanks, guys.